Okay, so recording now for AEP 858 Module 16. We're going to just, I guess, dive into the essential question. So as an advanced educational professional, how would you apply data and data analysis to ensure your continuous improvement plan is focused on closing gaps? So first and foremost, I am about to be a first-year teacher. So 1920 will be my first year physically in the classroom. So most of my information comes from meeting with my mentor teachers in my school district, visiting with my former principal. We actually had to change in administration this summer as well. Usually when I visit with them about data analysis, we're talking about programs that we've discussed previously in other modules like Ames Web and STAR Reading and STAR Math. We also use PowerSchool. And the ways that we use all of these, of course, would be to do benchmark testing throughout the course of the year and at the beginning or at the end of each quarter, rather. We share this data with parents and with each other as a staff, and a lot of that collaboration happens just sort of in an informal one-on-one setting. So we do share data and apply it in real time, which I think is handy because we have so few students in each classroom. Students are also involved in tracking their own progress. So in many of the, especially in the upper grade levels, but even down into as low as I've heard second grade, students are involved in tracking their own. So they will create graphics or keep track of their own progress throughout the course of the year so that they can be actively involved in applying their own data. So what I have done thus far is not much, but my staff, the rest of the faculty, meet one-on-one and in larger groups to discuss the application of this data after each of those quarterly testings and then collaborate across grade levels. So because we have so few students, we're able to do lots of cross-classroom collaboration and working together in teaching groups. With Ames Web, we also use that in the SPED classrooms a lot as a progress monitoring tool. And I would like to see, even though the outcomes of this are ongoing data analysis, what I'd like to see is even more of that. So what we learned in the readings about Google Forms, I didn't realize that that was a thing. So I'd like to use that in a locked capacity to create more quizzes and then export that data to Google Sheets so that I can use it with other teachers. If only. Okay. Good question. So our building, technically our district is split up in two buildings that are in two separate towns that are about 4 or 5 miles apart. So in our building in DeMar, Kansas, we have pre-K through 5th grade. Generally, because the pre-K is also a combined high needs classroom, they don't do quite as much collaboration, but all of the teachers K through 5 are do a great job working together on a personal level, and that way they can professionally kind of meet all the time, I guess I should say, throughout the week so that they can collaborate with that data. So K through 5 are the main grades that work together. PowerSchool. We do use Dible's testing in K through 2, but I'll be 5th grade, so I won't quite as much use that. So I think my main focus going into the first few months of school is going to be my own minute-to-minute assessments throughout the course of each day, like within the classroom and how each student responds to the curriculum. However, my mentor really highly suggested starting with things like STAR reading and math because I don't know if you guys use those, and I haven't as a student. I never used them, but the beginning assessment will give us a great starting place for the student's knowledge and comprehension level, and then they work from that individual starting place. So I really want to use those programs that are already available and that other teachers are familiar with using so that they can guide me through the process and I can have that data for each individual student moving forward. So oh, go ahead. Mm. So in my school, I'd have to go back and double check the spreadsheet that I made for our assessment schedule, but I believe that for STAR, we use that for all the way down to kindergarten. So we use it through K through 5. And as far as tracking, I know that there's an aspect of that program that allows you to export the data and either keep it, save it as a teacher to bring to the rest of your faculty and discuss during collaboration, or also to share with parents. Now, I don't know how STAR reading and math sort of work together with PowerSchool in terms of sharing that data with individual families, but that's something that I'd be interested to learn more about throughout this year, because I know that's our main medium for sharing that data for each family's student is through PowerSchool. But I think that there's a way that you can just directly send it through STAR reading or math as well as the students continue to progress. We do compare them. I'm not sure about school to school comparison, but we do compare them between classrooms, at least in terms of mentorship, I guess, and helping to make sense of that data. But most of the time, I'm going to be keeping that within my classroom. So I might discuss it with the second grade teacher who happens to be my assigned mentor, but not so much to compare it to her students' progress as much as it would be just to show her how my individual students have been progressing compared to where they were at the beginning. Yes, they are benchmark throughout the course of the year, and then we also do them at the beginning and end of the school year. So for number 3, for help, as you guys might have guessed, I would like to know some advice from you guys for tactics for first year teachers. So this class has been actually really great for me. I thought it would kind of be a backwards route that I'm taking where I haven't been in the classroom just yet, but I like it because it's given me some ideas to use for my first year. So what are the best tactics that you have used with district data? So comparing your own classroom to other grade levels or other schools within the district, and how do you best communicate that data with parents? Either, yes. It was great so far. Okay. Oh yeah. Mm. Okay, so in terms of data sharing, the main key would be both mentorship, checking in with those individuals, and regular meetings with the larger staff. And then it sounds like in terms of communicating with parents, it just comes down to what that school does. So I'll just need to make sure that I'm consistent with the medium that the rest of the teachers are using and what parents are used to in the district. And it just kind of comes down to the individual family. Okay. Perfect. Well, thank you all so much for your advice. I would like to start small with something like just sending emails out or doing something like Class Dojo, but I do definitely want to make sure to regularly meet with the staff, and my mentor teacher has told me too that we will plan to use my plan time this first, especially semester, but really this first year, to meet every week to kind of just catch her up on what all we've been doing and how my class is doing assessment wise. Okay. Mm. It's kind of like an assessment of me too. I like it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause this.